Hello, you're welcome to the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Lokko.
And mine is Umaru, Sanda, Amadu. Coming up.
Twin disaster of torrential rains and Bagre Dam spillage claims the lives of 4 persons in the northeast region.
And the rejects President Akufo-Addo's accusations that he's been ethnocentric, saying the president has no moral right to speak against ethnocentrism.
I'll be the last person to disparage any tribe or ethnic group. In the first place, the national chairman of my party, Samuel Lokko, NDC, is an Achim, and so are many leading members of.
Police arrest 15 persons from Teshin, Accra, who came to La Township to celebrate the Homowa Festival, which was earlier cancelled due to COVID-19.
I can say roughly 12 or 15 people have been arrested and they've been sent to regional headquarters.
And later, keyboard idol judges saved contestant Beth Marie Wooda Marty from the first eviction scheduled for Saturday night's competition.
And let's bring you details of the stories. And 4 persons have been confirmed dead following torrential rains coupled with the spillage of the Bagre Dam in parts of the northeast region.
Correspondent Maxwell Sook, who visited the Janga community where the incident or where one of the deaths were recorded, reports that more water is flooding the banks of the Volta River, which passes through several communities in the northeast region.
A community in the northeast region, the water have flooded swathes of land where many farmers have been using to cultivate their early crops yearly. This is where a young man was drowned a few days ago whilst trying to cross the river. Uncle of the deceased, Muhammad Ibrahim, says they are yet to come to terms with the death of their son.
Ayala kuma ayala bela mukusu ila nima manga nelbomi zenishe kutunanga mutubi kuma bunchana pamazo gome bula buchana pambere bela mwalu ne katara kama buchana otemarinde la nare omekulembe puma na mfomna murma from dabai la saw ka ba kule buchana ya biu karano la asa chapadia zura neno kana to shambiani. 3
others also died allegedly due to the rains. 2 died at the Bunkugu district, whilst the 4th person died at Langbinsi in the East Mampusi municipality. The Northeast Regional NADMO Director, John Kwekwal Hassan, is appealing to philanthropists to support the victims with relief items, as his outfit is unable to assist all affected persons.
2 people died in a village at Bunkugu called Pentang as a result of the torrential rains, and then 1 person died in Langbis, and then another person died in Janga area. The one who died in Janga area is called Amadu, who's about 32 years old, according to our men on the ground. But our men are on the ground trying to assess the situation because the place is not accessible for now. For the extent of damage, it will be difficult for us to tell now because a lot of farmlands have been submerged.
And how soon are you going to help them with relief items? What relief items will you be given to them?
NADMO gives blankets, zinc, foodstuff, face buckets, and the masks and mattresses. And the government has a huge responsibility, but that will not be enough for the people. So if that's a development partners can come into if there's a support of the people, that will be fine.
Swathes of farmland in the region are currently submerged following the torrential rains. Others blame the issue on the spillage of the Bagre Dam, which often wreak havoc on the lives of people and their farms annually. For Chief Tahir Ibrahim at Janga, who was in his farm the time of my visit, the farmers have to stop farming the river banks to save their lives.
The perennial issue is something that the farmers themselves, I will say that they are just difficult. They know the true problem and they do it. Every year they go close to the rivers to farm. They've been advised by agricultural officers, governments, and other agencies to stay away from even their communities. They say they should move uplands. You have been hearing these advices from governments and government parts. So they say they should move away from such areas. But because of late beans production, they prefer going so close to the riverside to produce maize, which they may harvest or may not harvest. And sometimes they die there because the rivers will get flooded. The Barley Dam will come, flood the whole area, sometimes flood their maize farms, clear them off, and they'll come home with nothing. Some may succeed in coming home with something small. Then, when the river or the waters reverses back to the river, then they use the wetland to plant beans.
Now, over 15 residents of Teshi have been picked up by the La Police here in Accra for unlawfully gathering to celebrate the Homowo despite a cancellation of the festival in La. The Teshi people thronged the La Township in a procession as part of the festivities. Citi News gathers that the La Traditional Council had, however, officially notified the Teshi Traditional Council of the cancellation of the part of the celebration in adherence to COVID-19 safety protocols. The police, in a bid to restore order in the community, rounded up some of the celebrants. Citi News' Michael Ogbudu has more.
We are currently in La, and we gather that some residents from Teshi had found their way into the community as part of their yearly celebration of the Homowo Festival. Normally, they would come into the community in a procession, singing, dancing, and chewing sugarcane. But this year, due to the COVID-19 pandemic and other reasons, we gathered that they were not supposed to come. But we pick up that some of them still managed to find their way into the community via canoe and using back routes. But then we picked up that the police tried to disperse them to bring their exercise to a halt. But then we picked up that it turned out very physical, and there was a scuffle between some of these people and the police personnel. We'll go into the community proper and try and understand what has happened and bring you up to speed with the issues. Please stay with us. This is the Citi Newsroom. They have picked up those who supposedly were part of the procession, and the police is taking control of the situation here and ensuring that law and order is restored. As you can see also, they are moving into the building over there. We gather that there are some of the individuals in there. The police is trying to get in there and possibly apprehend all the people who have been trying to flout the directive of the police to return to where they came from. So as you can see that the police is forcibly entering, breaking the door to enter the place and ensure that everybody in there is apprehended. There you see the police fully armed, marching into the room. We are yet to find out how many people are inside the room. And yes, there are a lot of people gathered on the streets observing the exercise. And even as we speak, there are more people being apprehended by the police officers. They are being escorted to a police vehicle at the far end. As you can see in your shots also, that is a formed police vehicle. There are more men trooping into the place for reinforcement, obviously, to ensure that calm is restored. As you can see, there are a lot of the officers here fully armed and ensuring that law and order prevails. And that is another gentleman over there being manhandled by the police. He's been escorted into the pickup truck over there, where a lot of the people who have been picked up are being put in and sent away. Apparently, the gentleman was holding a knife, possibly to attack the police officer. The knife has been collected from the gentleman, and he has been put in a pickup truck. Now, as you can see in your shots, those were other gentlemen or young men who were hiding in the office of one of the soccer bet companies here at Labadi. They are all being marched up into the police pickup and are being carried off, and hopefully will be sent to the police station. And as you can see in your shot also, the policewoman has the knife that apparently one of the gentlemen who was picked up had in his possession. More individuals are being marched into the car. Now this van also has about 10 young men also in it, and from the look of things, they are heading to the nearest police station. We have with us here an eyewitness who experienced the entire event. Touch up with any mini-baby.
I told me you need to if we be any Teshime back and Mavashipake, I make a show police for a month barrier. I mean, she need me go fit. I mean, I'm a born, no can be get telephone. Any police, I invite another police capabena and by rescue me make it prison. I can make it central, I can make it la central police station, I can make it usu. Oh, I may fa. I'm bashe 30 alo 35 because I'm a fa.
Police get more any baby.
Oh, police well I'm a fa. Lole police lole ni baby 6. You come 6 ni baby.
She one work at 2 year.
I want to shoot tomorrow 5 times now. I come here. Other street no only shoot here jam
moko apply bia
da bi inna kwa ke moko apply mo shin ayi moko na ile bia na amolekete cells le kenikele ba apply because ichopo shishi shin la ke apply ye jam alo apply ko.
We do understand also that we are not in normal times due to the outbreak of the pandemic. Don't you think they shouldn't have come this time around because of that?
Well, it depends. You know, everything depends on negotiation. You could have negotiated with them. But to say they shouldn't come, I don't think is good enough. Because, look, we have political parties who are, you know, amassing people, look, to gatherings and stuff. Who is arresting them? Nobody. So if you want to stop them, the best thing to do is to, you know, discuss with their leadership. No, I want you to come, or I don't want you to come. But these are the rules. If you want to come, these are the rules. But if you come, look, if you go to Chado, if you see the military and the police weapons there, I mean, it's like there's war, which is not good enough. You know, I was here when an elderly woman was caned. I mean, it's poor because the woman was saying that, look, this is what you do and, you know, sometimes you are being killed. She was caned. I had to talk to the police officer. That's so poor. So poor.
It looks like it was very physical, the whole process.
Yeah, it was physical because, look, you couldn't stop the people from coming to Labadi. Why are you stopping them from going home? Why didn't you stop them in Teshi? You know, if you think you don't want them here, why didn't you stop them in Teshi? But now they have come here. They want to go home. Wouldn't you allow them to go home? Or you want to embarrass all of them? I don't know how they want to do it, but the management has been very poor, very, very poor.
We have with us the MC for the area. We will speak to him and get more perspective on what happened here. You're welcome to the Citi Newsroom, sir.
Thank you very much.
Please help us understand what transpired here with regards to the tradition between these two communities.
Yeah, to say as part of Teshi, their festival celebration, they come to, I think the last Saturday, they come to La in the dawn, because per the tradition they are saying we are neighbors, so like they are coming to greet us that successfully they are done with their festival. And when they are coming, they come with sugarcane to chew and then loiter the whole place. So this is something that has been there for a very long time. But this year we all know the situation. We are in the era of COVID. So the traditional council wrote to Teshi that this year they shouldn't come. And the security too wrote to them that they shouldn't come. So going to Teshi, they created a barrier. But they came through the bush, and some of them came with canoe on the sea, about 10 canoes. So let me say, we should understand this. The government has a responsibility to protect lives. So the government or the security is not fighting them, but rather protecting their lives. So that is the basis. We should all understand that we are in the period of COVID. There is something they've been doing since. Nobody stops them. But around this time, we are saying COVID is around. So please, for today, for this year, they shouldn't come. traditional council wrote to them, wrote to the assembly, wrote to the security that this time they don't want their brothers and sisters to come to La. So we thought, they were not going to come.
A rather ecstatic La Police Command officers, elated after a successful operation. As you can see, they are jubilant after having been able to restore calm to the area. To my left is their divisional commander. As you can see, she is excited to have led a successful operation. We'll try and see if we can speak to her and get her perspective on the issue.
Currently, the situation is calm, as you yourself have seen and observed. So for now, we are standing by to maintain peace and order.
I see you holding a knife here. Can you tell us what the story, the backstory is?
The knife I'm holding is from one of the suspects who wanted to stab one of the policemen when the arrest was being made from the Teshi people who came to parade themselves and wanted to destroy vehicles and properties around.
So do you have an idea how many persons have been rounded up and where they have been sent?
Currently, I can say roughly 12 or 15 people have been arrested and they've been sent to regional headquarters for further investigations.
Interesting developments over there, Sanda.
Very, very interesting and shocking too.
Yeah.
But of course, we'll be watching out for what happens in the coming days. Yeah.
Okay, so you're still watching the Citi Newsroom. When we come back, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress denies making remarks about Achim's in his commentary about the controversial Ejapa royalties deal.
We'll tell you more about what he has been saying. Don't go away.
Rigworld Solutions, forging the frameworks of Ghanaian industry. Engineering solutions from the heart of Takrady, Kejebil. At Rigworld Solutions, we manufacture industrial bolts and nuts, fasteners, hoses and fittings for the extractive and petrochemical industries. World-class products with local expertise. Locate our factory in Kejebil of the Takrady Takwa Road. Call 0302-949917 or 0540-107504. Email enquiries at rigworldsolutions.com. Rigworld Solutions, crafted in Ghana, engineered for the world.
The world is impossible without time. Time is endless motion. Make time work for you. Bet Planet. Time to bet.
You're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Now, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has denied making remarks about the chimps in his commentary about the controversial Ijapa royalties deal. Now, this was after President Akufo-Addo called out the former president and questioned the silence of senior citizens on the issue at a meeting with leadership of the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference.
It is important for me to point out that no one has described his ethnic group or any other ethnic group in the manner in which the president mounts this complaint. What I remember is I shared a post of one of our very fine and brilliant MPs for Bogatanga Central, that is Honorable Isaac Andongo. And in that post, Andongo describes certain people in Akufo-Addo's government. You know, he has a lot of members of his family and friends in his government. So Isaac Andongo described those behind a certain shady and untidy deal in the government in a particular manner. Yes. I'll be the last person to disparage any tribe or ethnic group. In the first place, the national chairman of my party, Lokko, NDC, is an Achim, and so are many leading members of my party and members and supporters. And when I was president, I appointed many Achims in my government. The head of our manifesto drafting committee, Professor Danso Bafo, is an Achim, and they have all contributed to our government and our forward march to recapture power in December elections in order that we can create jobs, spread development in an equitable manner throughout the country. Everybody knows me. I've been in politics, and I'll be the last to express any ethnic sentiment. In any case, President Nana Akufo-Addo has lost the right to complain, you know, a long time ago. He was an opposition leader who called presidents before him anything you can imagine, including Professor Doolittle, and then he described somebody as a Simpapenyi, and I don't want to repeat some of the other things he said. He's a president who has called his critics naysayers and Jeremiahs. I don't understand on what standard he can be offended at this time, because he has a precedence of, you know, name calling.
Now, the newly endorsed flag bearer of the National Democratic Party, NDP, Nana Konadu Rawlings, has charged members of the party to work hard to ensure that the NDP secures parliamentary seats during this year's elections. Citi News' Nashika Caesar was there and has this report.
The National Democratic Party, NDP, has made it clear that their mission is to wrestle as many parliamentary seats as they can from the two major political parties. The newly elected flag bearer of the party, Nana Konadu Rawlings, says the plan for the NDP is to get majority of its candidates in Parliament to influence change.
Parliament happens to be the most crucial, actually. It is the most crucial empowerment embodiment of democratic leadership in Ghana. Each member of parliament is accountable to his or her constituents, whose duty it is to ensure that their constituency and their constituency interests are being reflected in the national agenda. It is so important to have many more people in Parliament. That is where the laws are made. That is where we can help our people. So we've got to make sure that we encourage people within the NDP. In fact, each member within the NDP should be able to identify a good person that can get into Parliament.
She also reproached previous governments for failing to pass the Affirmative Action Bill. She further promised to see to it that the bill is passed if she's given the nod.
We're talking about the affirmative action. It's been there before my husband left office. We placed it in Parliament from 1997-98. It is still there. If we had more people in Parliament, more women in Parliament, more gender-sensitive people in Parliament, it would have been passed by now.
In a speech read on his behalf by Nanose Mensah-Bonso, a member of the NDP, former President Jerrigan Rawlings congratulated the newly elected flag bearer and wished her well. The Secretary General of the NDP, Alhaji Mohammed Frimpong, was optimistic that the NDP will perform impressively in the 2020 polls.
The discourse, the political discourse is taking another turn. We call it an elusive turn, where people come from nowhere and then try to promise goodies, thinking that that is sufficient leadership. We are saying yes, even when it is necessary to talk about political goodies, what is primary is appropriate leadership. And by the prescriptions of the Fourth Republic, we think leadership must be shared.
Reporting from the Nat Hall here in Accra, my name is Nashi Kasiza for Citi News.
Now, about 80 disgruntled supporters of the NDC from the Western region have defected to the MPP. Now, they announced their defection at a press conference today. We have more in this report.
With about 3 months to the December 7 general elections, the phenomenon of political party supporters crossing carpet has begun to show its face in the Western region. Close to 80 persons from the Kwesimintim constituency claiming to be supporters of the NDC today denounced their support to join the NPP. Though most of the defectors claim they are not card-bearing members of the NDC, the few who had their cards to justify their membership of the NDC showed their cards. Theophilus Fiabe, who is the convener for the defectors but also forgot to bring along his NDC membership card, addressed their decision to defect.
We have up until now been members of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, in various ways. We have worked and toiled for the party throughout its years in government and in opposition. When we joined, we were assured that this was a party that had the interest of the common person at heart. We were led to believe that the party would work on behalf of people like us and not just the few who have the privilege of being close to the people at the top. When it is in power, the NDC only serves as a vehicle of privileged few to enrich themselves, while life gets tougher for the common person such as ourselves, whom the party claims to be working for. In the light of this, we are announcing today to the whole world that we are renouncing our membership of the National Democratic Congress with immediate effect and joining the New Patriotic Party. The emergence of Dr. Prince Hamid Amara as candidate for the New Patriotic Party forced us to seriously reconsider our membership of any party other than the one in which is a leader. Dr. Amara's inspiring life story, his demonstrable competence, his empathy for those in need, and his focus on politics that is about uniting and uplifting people has been a breath fresh air in Kwesimintim politics.
So I'm here at the event where we have about 100 NDC folks in Kwesimintim Zongo actually defecting to the MPP because of Dr. Prince Amara. But I have one of them to actually tell me why this decision and its connection and her connection to connection with the NDC. What's your name?
I'm Sharifa Ibrahim.
Tell me about your connection or your relationship with the NDC and why this decision.
Well, I grew up in a family of NDC supporters. My mom was the woman organizer in our area. My sister became the youth organizer. So basically, we grew up only knowing NDC and no other party. So, but whilst I was growing up, I just felt that this connection, and then I felt a lot of things going around, and I couldn't really benefit from a lot of advantages, and then the opportunities were just passing me by, and then it was really off focus. I'm an SHS leaver that I should be in the university, but because of monetary issues, I couldn't.
The reason why I want to be part of MPP now is this Dr. Ahmed is a good man. I've realized that he has a capability to take the Zongo community or constituency forward. And I've realized that he's good. He gives out. And so we decided that no, we can't just leave him like that. These 4 years come, December election that is coming, without voting for him. So we decided to organize ourselves and support him whatever he's doing so that the community as a whole can also move forward.
Dr. Prince Hamid Ama, who was born to a Muslim father and a Christian mother at the Kwesimintim Zongo, told Citi News it is a welcome news to his campaign and assure the people of every benefit the party supporters enjoy.
I am very happy and I want to make this commitment to you that I will never turn my back against you. For the commitment you have shown, for the love you have shown, for the kindness you have shown, by defecting from the party you have worked for, the party that you have toiled for, defecting and joining the New Patriotic Party to start a new political life. It's a courageous position you have taken, a courageous journey you have taken, and I can assure you that you will not be left out in the benefit that New Patriotic Party offers to its members. From now on, you see yourself as NPP members, and we are going to work together. Inshallah, we are going to have a second chance for Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. We are going to make sure that we demolish NDC in all the Zongo communities in Kwesimintim.
The Western Region MPP Deputy Secretary, Res John Fia, who was there to welcome the defectors, said it means more vote for the party.
The significance of what we are witnessing here is all about maximizing votes. As a party, we believe that to win political power, you need votes. So for this number of people, NDC members announcing their membership to be part of the NPP fraternity, we know definitely our vote in the Fia Kwesimintim are going to maximize.
Now, Scamcom PLC, the mother company of MTN Ghana, says he has filed a review at the Supreme Court over the High Court's dismissal of his claims against the National Communications Authority, NCA.
Now, in that suit, MTN Ghana sought an injunction on the NCA's decision to classify the telco giant as a significant market player, S&P, owing to its dominance in the marketplace.
The Commercial Division of the High Court on Tuesday, September 1, dismissed MTN Ghana's attempt to stop the NCA from acting on its declaration of MTN as an S&P.
Now, the court said MTN Ghana had not demonstrated sufficient proof that NCA acted unlawfully against it, thus could not issue a restraining order against the regulator.
But MTN Ghana is asking the Supreme Court to intervene in the matter, citing unfair treatment meted out to it by the National Communications Authority, NCA.
Let's move away from the telco sector, and Ghana's fight against COVID-19 seems endangered by a growing disregard for the protocols against its spread.
Many within the capital city seem to have thrown caution to the wind and are going about their daily routines without care. Sixtus Don Ulo in the following report examines the situation.
Ghana's COVID-19 case count as of Saturday, September 5, stood at 44,777, with 43,693 recoveries or discharge cases, 283 deaths, and 801 active cases. 64 new cases were announced on Friday, September 4, with Greater Accra region still at the top of the COVID-19 chart. Deputy Health Minister Dr. Bernard Okoboy describes Ghana's COVID-19 fight so far as inspiring.
We are telling them that we can win the war against the virus. We are winning the war. The only threat now is complacency. And we are just entreating everybody not to be complacent. We are bent on keeping the protocols in place as long as this virus remains in the world's population. And it is not in a bid to worry businesses, but it's to make sure that we are alive to be able to do more business going into the future.
Despite the largely successful preventive measures and mitigating interventions accountable for Ghana's success story on the COVID-19 fight, the Ghana Health Service expressed worry over a possible second wave of attacks in the Greater Accra region due to a growing disregard for anti-COVID protocols. Indeed, President Akufo-Addo, in his 15th COVID-19 address, lamented as such. This worrying development seems to persist despite a vigorous national anti-COVID-19 public education campaign being undertaken by the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE. With support from the COVID-19 National Trust Fund, Chairperson of the Commission, Josephine Nkrumah, maintains that the public education is gaining ground.
Some of our work too has covered
monitoring the communities that we engage in, particularly churches, mosques, going to the field, dealing with the market women, the lorry stations, the transport itself, to see how people generally are complying with protocols in order for us to also tailor our education, know where the loopholes are, intensify where necessary.
For her, people's attitude towards the virus and its spread is fast being influenced by certain prejudices.
Whatever name they call it, Koro, all the funny names that came out. The important things was for people to know that indeed this existed. Of course, there was a lot of disbelief, and that was one of our major challenges as a commission as we educated on the ground, where you had people who just thought that this did not exist. Some of it, for their own cultural beliefs, there were people who thought that it was witchcraft. It had to do with curses, and then you had a lot of misinformation on social media as well.
However, the Health Ministry says these campaigns must be sustained lest the gains made are undone.
When people are not complying to a measure that can save them or keep them healthy, you have to do a lot of education. And when I say a lot of education, it is repetition, it is going into details, it is appealing, it is continuing with the with the facts of COVID-19. And that is something that cannot be done in just a day.
The COVID-19 pandemic has affected many facets of life and threatens livelihoods. The CSO platform on SDGs in a survey revealed a dire impact of COVID-19 on all facets of national life. For instance, it shows that at least 17% of people have lost their jobs, and close to 58% of the respondents knew private business owners who had closed their businesses due to the impact of COVID-19. At present, the ban on political rallies, clubs, beaches, amongst others, is still in force. The remainder of the school term for lower levels of education has also been postponed to 2021. So, how about the December elections? Should it also be postponed?
There are activities that are crucial to the functioning of the state. So that if you are not careful, you might not postpone the election only for a year. If this virus is globally present and our vaccines don't achieve the things we want them, if for 5 years you're having huge numbers in the global population, it means you might have one president being there for the next 10, 15 years because of the COVID. So what do? A public health person will give this advice. Whatever arrangement you put in place for the election, put in place risk reduction measures.
Election is one day. So the issue of crowd and crowd control is most critical at this point. The issue of us understanding why we must all be masked up is critical. Going there with our sanitizers, going there with all that is necessary, social distancing when you are queuing, are very important.
Now, government is constructing hospitals in 5 districts in the Ashanti region to augment healthcare delivery in these areas. Health Minister Kweku Ajiman-Menu, who cut the sword for the commencement of the projects, is hopeful Ghana can attain its universal health coverage within the existence of the new facilities. Citi Newsroom's Ashanti regional correspondent Hafiz Tijani has more.
For the past 3 years, inhabitants from Drobonso and 5 other communities in the Setre Afram Plains district have relied on this facility to access health care. Health workers here continue to grapple with the challenges at this health facility.
We don't work in the night because we do not have lights, and the facility, the place too, is also not conducive to work in the night. The challenges initially, at first it was the referral system. At first, before the ambulance, we were having difficulty in making our referrals. But now with the ambulance services, we don't struggle much. And then secondly, with the drones technology, now the drones technology is also helping us. It's not all cases that we do refer. So these were the challenges. Currently, the facility is there without a place of convenience. And this is one thing that I think is the most immediate challenge. And the staff also here, the accommodation here is very scarce. So the cost is also high. These are the challenges I can say for now that is bedeviling us for now.
The government has, however, intervened to provide hospitals to 5 districts in the Ashanti region to improve healthcare delivery in these areas. The beneficiary districts are Achuma-Kwauma, Amansia West, and Setre Afram Plains. The others include the Ahafo-Ano Southeast District and the Swami Municipality. The projects are expected to be completed in 36 months. Health Minister Kweku Ajiman-Menu, who cut the sword for the projects to start, spoke to journalists.
This particular project costs around 7 million euro. We have a package of 12 of these hospitals. We borrowed money approved by the Parliament of Ghana through Cabinet, and we are executing 12 such facilities at 71 million euro. That is the cost. And then we have the insurance package of 8.6 million euro. So together, we have about 80 million for the 12. Each of them averagely costs 6.66 million, which is round about 7 million euro for the project.
Member of Parliament for Manson Konta, one of the beneficiary areas, spoke about how a district hospital will benefit the people.
It is very significant because when I came, I realized that the district is too big. I had to fight for my own district. That's what gave birth to Amansia West, the new Amansia West, and that of Amansia South. They have at least St. Martin's, what is at Agrusun, as a private, but we don't have anything. What we have here is only a health center. We have about 8 health centers, which I have equipped them with medical equipments. In fact, I've renovated most of them. But again, I need a hospital that in future, when I leave office, I can say that yes, through my time, through my tenure of office, I was able to do this for my people.
For health workers at Drabonso and other beneficiary districts, the construction of the hospitals came at the right time.
Well, we felt good about it because you see our area here is too small. When the patient comes around, we want to give them the better health care, but we are lacking so many things. So when we heard the news, we were happy.
We're having more challenges here. Our services is not enough for us to give quality healthcare to this community. So this hospital will be beneficial to us and the community as a whole. So we are happy and we thank Amadu for what he is doing for us.
For health workers here at Drabonso in the Setre Afram Plains district of the Ashanti region, they have heaved a sigh of relief following the coming in of a district hospital. From Drabonso in the Ashanti region, Hafiz Tijani for Citi News.
Still ahead on the Citi Newsroom, traders in Ashaman are asking for government to close down some of the shops owned by foreign retailers.
We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Materials for this building.
I can see that. But my brother, you know, just last year you built this house.
Oh yeah.
When the walls started peel off like banana due to rising dam, My brother, that's been my issue.
I've tried so many things, but nothing works.
You know what? They even use that black rubber only before the concrete casting. You mean that boiler rubber? Oh, my brother, you would have saved yourself the stress if only you used Visqueen DPM from Vertigio Limited. That'd be what my puppy used for house. And over so many years, the house till they come up.
For purchases and enquiries, contact Ventigio Limited at Spinters Road, Accra, or in Kumasi at Ushumasi Kwarasu.
Visqueen DPM, no size.
So welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Now, the demand for the government to ensure that the National Health Insurance Scheme works effectively keeps increasing, as many Ghanaians have lamented the inability for the scheme to provide quality health care. They contend that the benefit derived from this social intervention mostly ends at the outpatients department at a number of health facilities. Now, Citi News' Philip Nilate spoke to some subscribers of the scheme and filed this report.
Evidence has shown that an effective social protection system is key to improving the livelihoods of the poor and vulnerable, and is a great tool for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). The National Health Insurance Scheme, being one of these several social protection systems in Ghana, is expected to be beneficial to the poor and the vulnerable who are card bearers. However, the situation seems to be different in reality. According to a survey conducted by Send Ghana, dubbed the People's Manifesto, there is a high demand for government to expand the NHIS to include preventive health tests, illnesses, and essential drugs.
Events in this honorable house must be eschewed. The headline is woefully misleading. And it's a misreport. I read it myself this morning.
Apologies for that. Now, some traders within the Ashanti municipality of the Greater Accra region are appealing to the government's task force on retail trade to extend the clamping down on foreigners engaged in the retail business to the enclave. According to them, foreigners have taken over their businesses and have created an unfair business environment. Elvis Washington has the rest of the story.
The leadership of the traders at a press conference noted that they will be compelled to take the laws into their hands if nothing is done to save the situation.
On this day, Ashanti Traders Union is calling on well-meaning Ghanaians to help uphold and respect the constitution of our dear country. In our markets and streets, all kinds of goods can be purchased. However, our markets and streets are currently flooded by foreigners. These foreigners have no respect for us as a people and are flouting our laws. Our union is a law-abiding one. We hereby bring to the notice of the government and the task force the growing number of foreigners in our markets and streets. Inasmuch as we are hospitable people, we will not sit aloof and lose our markets and streets to foreigners. As a matter of urgency, we call on our able-bodied leaders and vibrant task force to come to our aid before we lose our livelihood to these foreigners.
Some traders present at the presser also narrate how frustrating it has become working in the market due to the unfair business competition these foreigners bring to the fore. They threaten to demonstrate in 2 weeks if nothing is done about the situation.
But we are pleading that Ashama will also crying, because as we are speaking now, Kasua, every area, such as Greater Accra, all those that they went, all places that they went and locked their stores and things, they've all run back to Ashama, doing business on the street, on tabletop. You can find them all over, because they've locked their stores in Kasua, Carnation and other places. Now they brought their tables here, putting up this, all those selling here, which is worrying us. Our business is falling.
the goods that the foreigners are selling in Ashama here is inferior goods. And the prices that they are selling it, they don't care. If you give them chance up to 1 month, they will take all over Ashama here. As my chairman said, they sack them from Kaswa, they sack them from Medina, they are all running to Ashama here. And the prices that they are selling their goods is very bad. They are not paying tax. So we are calling on Nanado. We are calling our president to fight for us because the election is coming. If we didn't do anything about it, we will cause demonstration at Ashama here. Seriously, because our business is falling down.
To the Ashaman Central Business Area, after the press conference, had some of these Ghanaian traders who hawk along the streets corroborating the concerns raised by the union.
Suddenly, I find a 10 city. Over my phone, 10 cities now. Over ton, but oh, ton Unyashi or so because of say, I'm going to 10 city. You are forced to say, take that 10 city. Nigeria for a year and 1 year. And just send me to phone you. Yen I was about open phone. Say phone way. Me for phone boy was a boy 3 million. I was a boy I'm to buy 3.5. But Nigeria phone fresh say I 3 million. It's not my Ghana for you break you to Tommy and Draman Tommy and I'm Tommy. Adam Bonibel.
It was quite eminent that these Nigerians were seen engaging in retail business as alleged by their Ghanaian counterparts, from the sale of phones on tabletops to the pushing of trucks. Some of these Nigerians who spoke to Citi News said their Ghanaian counterparts are taking the issues overboard.
We are all Africans, so there's no need for you to tell your fellow Africans that what he or she is doing in your country is bad, especially when the person is against the law. You have to treat the person according to the law. But not when the person is doing his or her business, you say that because the person is from Nigeria, you are doing this or you are doing that, which is not right.
Don't actually know their problems. When you go to Nigerians, we have plenty Ghanaians doing the business, both Abuja and Lagos. I know them. Nobody worries them.
It's still the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian. Lokko here with
Umaru, Sanda, Amadu.
We'll be right back with some more stories. Don't go away.
Rigworld Solutions is a wholly owned Ghanaian company that offers multiple engineering solutions for the extractive and petrochemical industries. We manufacture industrial bolts and nuts, fasteners, hoses and fittings. From our factory at Kejebri in Takrade in the western region of Ghana, Rigworld Solutions employs Ghanaians to produce world-class products. With cutting-edge technology, all products are manufactured to ensure the strictest adherence to customer specifications. The threading, cutting, chamfering, and stamping of the bars are modeled around the ISO 9001 global standard. Safety is at the heart of every production process at Rigworld Solutions. From the coating to the sandblasting, the washing and the phosphate treatment, our quality control checks are the most rigorous in the industry. We have instituted full part traceability throughout the manufacturing process, and all products are measured and inspected for specification conformity before deployment to you. Locate our factory in Kejebri off the Takrade Takwa Road. Call 0302 949917 or 0540 107504. Email enquiries@rigworldsolutions.com. Rigworld Solutions, crafted in Ghana, engineered for the world.
Yeah, welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Now, the Association of Coordinating Directors Ghana says government must offer the requisite resources to waste management firms in Ghana to facilitate their activities. Now, according to the union, waste management companies have managed so much filth within the urban communities, particularly Accra, despite the numerous efforts channeled into making it the cleanest city in Accra. Now, during a tour of some waste management facilities in Accra, the Association of Coordinating Directors called on the government to equip the waste firms in addressing the menace.
In Ghana, waste management has been decentralized, and so local government authorities and private actors are now playing key roles in waste management in the country. Private waste management firms, including Zoom Lion Company Limited, have over the years done their bit to rid the country of filth. For example, urban areas like Accra, the capital of Ghana, which has over 2 million inhabitants, generate nearly 900,000 metric tons of solid waste per year. Out of this, 67% is organic matter. Although Accra provides full waste collection services in parts of the city, waste is not collected from more than half of the city's households. Waste is collected by private companies like Zoom Lion, which has about 10 waste treatment facilities. Their facilities over the years have been augmenting Accra's dams site. During a tour of some of the plants, including Accra Compost Plant, the Integrated Recycling and Compost Plant, members of the Association of Coordinating Directors noted that it was about time government supported private waste management companies looking at their role in the sanitation sector.
Yeah, he's doing well, but just the issue be supported. There are certain things that when the government try to support him, he can do better. The equipment and the plants that we've seen today, if we are to make good use of the plants, I don't think that we'll be having problems with waste management.
It proposed that government should look into generating energy from waste.
That's the ideal situation we are all envisaging. And the final analysis, we all want to treat our waste, and if that we can treat and turn it to energy, I think that will be the best way for us to go. At least we have started. We need to start from somewhere so that we will reach there in the final analysis.
Now, the second live performance of Citi TV's Keyboard Idol has ended without an eviction of any of the 10 contestants.
The show, which airs at 7 p.m. on Saturdays, was expected to see the first eviction of a contestant.
Now, however, after kind consideration from the judges, the eviction was withheld. Now, the judges believe the contestants need a second chance to better orient themselves with the task of being in such a competition, as it is the first of its kind.
The 3 contestants who came up for eviction this week were Vinyo Anku, Nana Kweku Yeboah, and Best Marie Wuda Mati.
Now, the 10 are battling for the ultimate cash prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis and the bragging rights as the Keyboard Idol.
Keyboard Idol is sponsored by Santor Energy, Faith Works Music School, and Asanka, powered by Tech Aid.
Well, that's it for today's edition of the Citi Newsroom. Log on to our website for more stories.
You can subscribe to Citi Tube on YouTube for more exclusive video contents from Citi TV.
Download the Citi Newsroom app from the Google Play Store or the App Store and keep updated on the go.
You can also watch Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182.
My name is Vivian Lokko.
Mine is Umaru Sanda Amadu. Enjoy the weekend.